A lot of things were talked about, some things were not between those two. Let's bring in Ambassador Stuart Holliday, former U.S. Ambassador for Special Political Affairs at the United Nations. Ambassador, welcome.
Good to be here.
What do you make of this 5-minute turning into 55-plus minute meeting between the two? Does that signal anything to you? And also, what do you make about the announcement that all of a sudden they walk out of the room and, yep, it is game on for the summit on June 12th?
Well, I think this is a classic negotiating strategy to effectively play down expectations, have this meeting, Chief of Staff Kelly meeting him, not the traditional handshake, to go in there and then to exceed those expectations, give a sense that things are back on track. Obviously, at this point, the president feels very strongly that there's an opportunity here to meet in Singapore and at least get a first step towards a dialogue. He has made a statement that he's willing to sit down and talk. This is disruptive. It's unprecedented. I'm sure there's a lot of policy work behind the scenes trying to figure out and unscramble what is the agenda, what can be achieved, and what's the process. And
what are the goals of the North Koreans? You know, when the president was out there, he was asked about the fact that Sergei Lavrov was just in North Korea meeting with Kim Jong-un. All of a sudden, you've got Kim Jong-un talking to the Russians. I mean, right. This. I don't want to say strange bedfellows because it's not that strange if you consider this is North Korea. But at the same time, the timing seemed a little bit of a, thumb nose up at the U.S. If you ask me.
That's right. Well, Russia's been a party to some of these six-party talks before. They're a player in the region, and I think North Korea is anxious to show that it has people in the region that it can talk to, whether it's the Chinese or the Koreans. We know there's a lot of tension there with the Chinese. But this is going to be, at the end of the day, a regional agreement. I think there's a lot of focus on Trump and Kim Jong-un at the moment. But when we look at what is going to be enforceable, what can be done, what kind of agreement, there's going to have to be South Korea, Japan, China, maybe even Russia. But really, it's going to take the region to get something done.
Well, they didn't talk about human rights. Sanctions are on hold. But also, the president made a statement, again, as he was being interviewed by reporters after, about, well, you could see the Korean War end also on June 12th. I mean, isn't it true that this is going to be in stages, that all of this could be 2-3 meetings down the line, because the North Koreans aren't ready to give up their nukes? They've made it very clear that they think it's going to be in stages. They want stages to denuclearize. They don't want to just hand them over. And President Trump has said, well, this is a first-term goal for me. I mean,
well, even if they agreed, it could take up to 15 years to dismantle this stockpile. I mean, what we're talking about is something very different than Libya, very different than other countries. I mean, there's a massive amount of fissile material there that would need to be dismantled. But there are some pretty important, I mean, most people don't know that we're still in an official state of conflict or war with North Korea. There are symbolic major steps that can be taken, confidence-building measures that would still be good. So it's going to be on two tracks, the nuclear issue and the broader question of normalizing relations with North Korea.
Really quick, what do you think this says about Mike Pompeo, new on the job?
Very close relationship with the president. I think very intelligent, smart, and he's clearly driving the train. And we haven't seen the State Department drive the train in a while. So I think he's a key figure in all this.
Ambassador Holliday, he certainly is. And, well, like I said, it's game on June 12th. Thank you, Ambassador. Appreciate it.